But he knew his choices were gonna have consequences, and that consequences was putting the entire fucking uh city against them.
Well, that and the ultimate ending consequence was oof.
Yeah. Okay. So hold on, here's the thing. Okay. So what's her name? Queen Bitch. Uh, do you think she was? Do you think she's being petty? Yeah, we're just gonna start this shit live.
The only time I caught the Holy Ghost was when I was in church drinking.
Like they're two dumb dudes. Welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. Woo, these early mornings are killing me, bruh.
For real, late nights, early mornings, what we do.
Yeah, I know.
Like I tell all my friends, success doesn't sleep.
Bruh, yeah, it's momentum. Right now I'm working off momentum.
Momentum. Oh man.
With that being said, welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast, Side B. It's your boy Sarat, aka Makazi.
And your boy Chris Brown, aka Red for Delta. How's everybody doing out there?
Well, I mean, if you're watching right now on YouTube, you can tell that Chris is filming this from the back of a Hot Topic.
Hey, if you watch the last episode, I said I'm redecorating. I got a whole lot of things going on right now. Give me a minute and I'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Next week I should be back on point. Work with me, y'all.
Well, I mean, so you're in a journey. You're in a journey. Your background in this journey is reaching its final form.
Almost.
Well, I mean, this whole episode's about a journey, right?
Indeed.
Right now we're hitting episode 5 of The Last of Us on HBO Max, and like this might be one of the more crazy, like action-packed episodes.
That, and I actually feel like the third one was more emotional, and I feel like now it's starting to get really good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, so like the episode, in the last episode, we saw Joel and Ellie. They reach Kansas City. We see their journey inside Kansas City. When we last left them, they were asleep in like an abandoned building, and they wake up and we got two brothers, faces with guns. That's where we start off. Go ahead.
Well, it's funny. Last episode, you said we got two brothers. You know what I'm saying? And it's actually real brothers. We find out that they're actually really brothers on this episode.
So when we take off, when we kick off this episode, we finally learn who Henry is. We heard his name in the last episode. I wasn't sure, and I was trying to figure out like who is this Henry person that they're trying to chase down.
Yeah.
And when we see him, in my head, I was like, he kind of young for him to be the guy that everyone's chasing down, right?
Yeah. Like, but then you realize,
but no. Okay, so when you saw him, like, did he look like the menacing or the villain that the resistance was painting him out to be?
He looked like a young kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what struck me off because I was like, I don't know why I was expecting an old dude.
I thought the same thing. Like, honestly, when we talked last time, and I said it might be like a father-son thing.
Yeah.
You know, but he looked like he was about what, 19, 20 years old, maybe?
Yeah, exactly.
So
we see that, but like, and so we meet in the beginning of this episode, we meet Henry and his little brother Sam. Sam is actually deaf, which I thought was dope.
Yeah.
You know, just the idea of using like different types of communication to help tell a story. You know.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and they're on the run. Like what would you like? I don't know. In watching this episode, like, I don't know how I would be moving in a city like that. You've got an entire city, pretty much an entire city coming down on you.
Yeah,
and you just got to try to like run and hide and play hide and go seek with these people who are trying to take you out.
Except it's opposite. Instead of 15,000 people hiding and you going to find them, you got 15,000 people chasing you and you're trying to hide. So
you know what's dope about this episode is like it's linear with episode 4. When we first start off with this episode, you see Henry and Sam and their journey, and they're going into hiding and stuff like that. And like some of the things they're doing, we already saw like part of it in episode 4, but
with Joel and Ellie.
yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, they're in hiding and they're trying to get out of the city. And who was the old dude that was with them?
He was the one that got shot by the lady in episode 4, I believe, in the beginning.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. See what I mean?
Yeah.
See what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning of this episode, they're hiding in this attic, and they got a supply of food.
Mm-hmm.
And the old dude leaves, and he's waiting. Sam's gets real hungry,
Mm-hmm.
and he's Henry tells him we got to wait till this guy comes back. He never comes back.
Yeah.
And then if you watch episode 4, you know why, because he got caught.
Yeah.
You ever seen the Bourne Ultimatum?
Yeah. Do I remember completely? Not really.
Well, so like the Bourne Supremacy and the Bourne Ultimatum, like
Mm-hmm.
it was dope because you realize at the end of the Bourne Ultimatum, you realize that movie took place in between the Bourne Ultimatum, and like it was happening. The
Yeah.
Bourne Ultimatum was happening parallel to the Bourne Supremacy.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, because the last scene in the Bourne Supremacy is when Matt Damon's talking to the lady on the phone, and he's looking across from her in the skyscraper.
Gotcha.
And then in Bourne Ultimatum, all of a sudden he gets to the point near the end of the movie where that scene happens. You're like, oh shit! You realize that entire movie was happening in the span of when he escaped the people in Bourne Supremacy, and then that
Mm-hmm.
final scene.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I thought was dope with this one, was like that whole the kind of the time jump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. When you put it like that, yeah, because everybody that watched it, you see when we figure out who Henry and Sam are, and they watch the whole shootout happen with Joel and Ellie,
yeah,
they changed their plans. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And they're basically stalking them the whole movie, or the whole episode rather.
yeah. Because he realizes, yeah. I mean, Henry sees Joel and Ellie get into that shootout.
Mm-hmm.
He says it like he knows how to get out of the city. But he's not equipped to do it.
Yeah.
He's not that kind of person.
Mm-hmm. So this one was, well. Did you enjoy it?
Oh,
This episode?
I enjoyed it a lot. I thought
Okay.
it was heartbreaking on a few different levels.
Well, the ending is what got me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not just the ending, but like when you finally figure out why the resistance is chasing down Henry.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like, so all right, like, so what happens is, Fedra came and took over the city.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to quarantine everyone down or whatever. And apparently, I guess they just, when they got power, they ran with it.
Yeah.
Became tyrants and shit like that.
Because what they did was they took all the infected and ran them basically under the city.
Yeah.
And what's the girl's character? I don't remember.
I forget her name.
Is it Sally? Okay,
I forget her name.
I call her Queen Bitch. But
She's cold as hell.
that's why I said Queen Bitch. But as you would say, this is raggedy bitch. You know what I'm saying? But you find out her story and why she's chasing them.
Yeah.
Because Henry ends up getting her brother killed.
Yeah.
To save his brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, that's to me, that's the big question in this episode. Like, Henry is tasked with taking care of his little brother,
Mm-hmm.
who ends up having cancer.
Yeah.
And so, he there's this medicine that he needs, but in order to get it, he has to give Fedra something they want.
Yeah.
And so, you're left in that moral dichotomy of like, what do you do? It's the lesser of two evils.
I mean,
what do you do in that situation?
The shit is fucked up because, well, I don't know. I don't know why. I wish I could remember the guy's name, but I don't remember the girl's brother's name that he gave up. But I feel like that's almost like selling out your best friend to save your brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. That's sticky.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your little brother. What were they best friends? Did they really know each other?
Well, I don't think they were best friends, but um, I know. God, I wish I could remember his name. He was almost like,
Like the head of the resistance, kind of, right?
yeah, but he was more like the peaceful one. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? And basically a Martin Luther King to Malcolm X. You know, and everything he did was just trying to fight with love, so to speak, if I caught the story correctly.
yeah,
And Henry sold him out, you know,
yeah.
to save his brother. So
I
yeah,
don't know. But the thing is, I can't. It's hard for me to hold that against Henry.
I mean, I don't hold it against him, but at the same time, it's like, you had an innocent man killed that was trying to, I guess, fight a war the
Yeah,
most peaceful way possible.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Then you got. I mean, but then you got your little brother who's, you know, been dealt a shitty hand by life.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you want to watch your little? Would you want to watch your little brother die when
No,
you can do something to help save him?
nah, definitely. I remember growing up, one of my other brothers pushed my little brother off the bed. He fell into the heater and
Yep.
opened the back of his head. And this was it was on a school night, uh, maybe 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I had to rush to the hospital. And, I went, what am I, maybe 15, 16 at the time.
Yeah.
And I was in the hospital all night with him, with my mom, just because it was bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, you never want to see, actually, you want to see any of your family members die. That's just the way it is. Anybody you love. But just knowing that they could, and
Yeah.
you got to watch it, it's not a good feeling. You know what I mean?
And especially if you feel like you have some kind of, you know, ability to help change that person's, future,
Hmm.
to help right the wrong, whatever. Like, you can curb it somehow, but you might have to do something amoral to do it. Like, I don't know.
Mm.
It's such a crazy, like, you know, juxtaposition to be in.
Yeah, it is. You ever been faced something like that where you had to do something shitty for a good purpose? I guess.
I don't. I mean, I did something shitty. Just it wasn't for a good purpose, you know.
Oh man.
But that's a story for another day.
Yeah,
But let's just say I won't allow myself to get back to that point.
I
But
feel you. I
yeah,
feel you.
but
Oh man.
it's just I don't. Yeah, it's hard for me to hold anything against Henry because, like, he did what he felt was right by
Hmm.
his family. You can't hold that against someone.
Yeah.
But he knew his choices were gonna have consequences, and that consequences was putting the entire fucking uh city against them.
Well, that and the ultimate ending consequence was oof.
Yeah. Well, okay, so hold on, here's the thing. Okay, so what's her name? Queen Bitch. Uh do you think she was do you think she's being petty?
Once I understand the story, I get it, but I don't get
You
her.
got but you got an entire resistance
Yeah.
chasing down one dude
Hmm.
because he, you know, got your brother killed.
Yeah.
But like in this, remember in the other episode, it was that whole thing where the girl, where dude, she got fucked up because they were trying to steal the battery,
Yeah.
and she was just kind of like, that's how life is right
Hmm.
now. Like, shouldn't she be looking at it in the same way? Like this kind of just how life is right now.
If you put yourself in her position, it's obviously her and her brother were close because there's a scene in the show where she was back to her childhood room,
Hmm.
and I think it's bunk beds. So her and her brother shared the room,
Yeah,
so they were obviously close. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um, I think if he would have just died by maybe the affected people or something would have happened, she
yeah,
might have taken it differently. But because he was actually gave up by somebody, it was like that. It was a different take. Because even when we find out who Henry is, what do you call himself? Not an informant,
it
a
was
contractor.
no collaborator.
Oh yeah, collaborator. There you go.
Yeah,
And Joe was like, I don't work with rats. Say like off the back, he's like, I'm not messing with you. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
But so I guess
But then,
that
but then Henry was like, he goes, I ain't never did a violent thing in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And the and holding you hostage with an unloaded gun is the closest I've ever been to violent.
Mm.
Like, yeah, like I get it. I get when you first find out that he, he became a traitor,
Yeah.
makes you pull back and be like, I ain't messing with this guy. But then
Yeah.
when you kind of learn his reasoning behind it, you're like, it's kind of hard to hold it against him.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks, but
Which the conversation they had when they was on the ground in the little schoolhouse, so to speak, whatever,
yeah,
or
yeah.
little schoolroom.
Mhm.
Like I thought that was dope because he says his story and why he's on the run and what he's doing. And what he say? So I'm the bad guy, right? Or am I the good guy? It all depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, it's all about perspective, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you like, obviously, if you're the sibling of the person that died, yeah, he's the worst person in the world. But
Mhm.
if you're the little brother, that's
The,
my savior.
the
You
superhero,
know,
yeah.
I'm a guardian angel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm,
I liked that scene where, like, because they were in hiding,
mm,
like Anne Frank and shit, and
yeah.
they were just he was a little brother was drawing superheroes all over the wall.
Yeah.
So, but before he left, he painted his face to look like a superhero.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, they built up the relationships really well in this episode.
Oh yeah, definitely. And at first I was like, how Ellie just knows sign language just like that. But there's a scene where she sees him talking, Henry and Sam talking,
Yeah,
and she does something, so it kind of gives you a heads up that she knows what's going on.
yeah,
So maybe in later episodes we'll find out why she knew sign language just so easily
yeah.
and everything else. But
I thought the relationship between Sam and Ellie was dope because it was like, you can see they had they just felt like they found someone who's not a next of kin, but like just someone who has something in common. Like,
yeah,
I'm just a child in this fucked up world,
mm-hmm.
you know?
And just trying to get to Wyoming,
Yeah.
and I just thought about that. They came from Boston to Wyoming, or that getting there.
Yeah, yeah, they're
That's a
traveling to
long.
Wyoming. Yeah.
That's a long fucking trip.
Mhm.
That's a
Oh
long
yeah,
fucking trip.
bro, we drive. We
I
drive.
know. I know.
You
They're
know?
on foot.
Yeah.
Well, now, but still,
Yeah.
like, oh man.
All right. So what do you think, like, the different, like, if you see the differences between, like, Joel and Ellie
Hmm.
and Henry and Sam, like, you got two people who are tasked you know uh with protecting this younger person,
Mm.
and, like, you can see Joel's a little more militant about it,
Hmm.
and Henry's more like, he's doing it out of love. This is actual family.
Matter of fact, Henry points out a part in that scene too, when in the little schoolyard or whatever, or schoolhouse, and he says, "She, she's not your daughter, but you are somebody's father, aren't you?"
Yeah.
And they got quiet. And I was like, "Oh shit!"
Right.
Alarms
she,
is
she came in loud as fuck.
yeah, sitting right here. But, I thought that was dope because just look on Joel's face because he doesn't get that realization until episode 3 when the two gay dudes die, whatever,
Yeah.
and they leave him the note, and he understands. Okay, whether I wanted this job or not, I got it.
But do you think that's what Henry meant in that situation? Because I took that as Henry saying, like, you know, don't judge me for my choices.
Hmm.
I know you sit there and say you don't work with rats, but don't judge me like you're not her father, but you were somebody's father. Like,
Yeah.
don't judge me, like, because you would do the same for your daughter, and that's his little brother.
See, and I took it as, um, even though you act like you really don't want to do this, deep down inside you really do,
Yeah.
but you don't want to show it.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you pointed out that you're somebody's father because you wouldn't protect this little girl the way you are unless you experienced it before.
Yeah.
So there's somewhere deep down inside Joel that Henry can see. Like
Yeah.
like you're a hard ass on the outside, but there's something in here that's itching at you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I took from it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know. It's like it was. I mean, we pretty much got the two of the same, like, stories going, like with Henry and Sam and Ellie and Joel.
mhm,
It's like, it's like meeting, just when you meet someone who's kind of on the same journey as you, you
mhm,
kind of you kind of just start to see, like, a different perspective of the same, like, the same journey. So you're looking at it like if I'm walking and I meet somebody who's been through the same thing as me, but I'm watching them handle it differently, it might make me take a step back and go, huh, like maybe there's other ways of handling this besides what I've been doing. Maybe I've been acting shitty in some spots and I should just, tone it down a little bit.
Ellie does make a point about that when they're walking, and because Joe's real uptight, and
Yeah.
she says that's just his character. He's not mean.
Yeah.
He always like, yeah, I'm Joel, and then he lightens up.
Well, that's what
So,
that was at the end of the when he held the gun on him. He goes,
okay.
I'm gonna take this gun off you. If I take this gun off you, are we cool? And he goes, yeah, we're good. And he goes, well, that's a terrible tone.
Yeah.
He just has an asshole tone. That's just him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, they end up getting through. Well, you see that? Hold on, let's go back to that map he drew. It was a big ass tic-tac-toe board.
I missed that. What was it?
When it was in the office, he's talking about this is the city.
Oh yeah.
It was like a big ass tic-tac-toe board. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, we gotta get here to here, and out there. I was like,
these are the highways. I was like, where? I don't see those roads.
oh man.
Oh shit.
But yeah, I thought that was plans. All right, I guess whatever. Draw something. They probably just said, "Hey, just draw something to make it look good." He's like, "All right, cool." And action. but so yeah, they get to the tunnels, and they're lucky enough to find out that the infected aren't down there, so they can get through it no problem.
Yeah, because Henry was like, yeah, they drove all the infected down there, and that's why people don't go down there. But he knew that like they're not all down there.
Yeah,
it's actually somewhere empty. So if we can get there, we can get through. That's scary, bro.
Hell yeah, it is.
Imagine going somewhere like, yo, there's a snake pit over here, and then they drove all the snakes down here, but I know for a fact there ain't no snakes down there.
You can't
be like, you go first then.
You can't tell that to me. I mean, dude, yeah. I've had my encounter with him.
Yeah.
And we ain't got the right gear on, I'll tell you that right now. Oh man.
Matter of fact, I seen this video the other day. Not the other day, maybe like yesterday, where it was like animal control or whatever. And there was this, you can see it was like the tail of a python. It was like in the ceiling, right? And like they're trying to pull it down, it wouldn't come down. So as they're trying to pull it down, someone else hits like the ceiling panel next to it.
Yeah.
And the ceiling panel falls, and like 4 big ass pythons come hanging down.
Oh shit.
Bruh.
Nah.
Top 5 scariest shit.
Nah.
That shit ever happened. Ooh.
Man, speaking of that, I was watching some old, I don't know if it's like an old episode of Cops or something like that. And they're in this dude's house, and he could tell he's whacked out. He's on something, you know what I'm saying? And he's got pet snakes. He's talking to the cop, and he's like, yeah, these are my babies. He got like cages full of like different pythons, all kind of stuff. And he goes like, there's some in here too. And the cop said, there's a snake in here? He said, there better be. If not, we got a problem. Cop said, oh, hell nah. Oh man.
Some people get too crazy with their pets, man.
Shit.
I got my dog. Dog. I already had issues with goldfish back in the day. Done with them. Used to go with my dog.
I actually want to fish. I don't know why. I just do something different.
But when I was younger, we used to have. Well, my tablet just turned on by itself.
What you got going on in your house at this time of the day, homie?
I have no idea. It's 3, almost 4 o'clock in the morning. That's probably just updating. Anyway, so we had these goldfish, and one weekend we were going to visit some family friends in New Hampshire. Goldfish, they will eat until they die.
Oh yeah. You told me go for it.
Yeah, so instead of having a neighbor or a friend come over and feed the goldfish, my older brother was just like, yo, let me just put a weekend's worth of food inside the fish tank. So we came back like Sunday night, and those fish, all their stomachs exploded. They was all floating around.
Oh man,
that shit was crazy, man. I was like, what the hell I'm looking at him like, what the hell happened,
man? Yeah, a kid's way of thinking. Yeah.
All right, so finally these guys are on their path. They're trying to get out of the city, and we get to kind of the big moment.
Yeah.
Episode, right? They're trying to get through, and then they send Joel up into the building with the sniper rifle.
Yeah. Well, they ain't send them up. They actually start getting sniped.
Yeah. So he had to go up there and you take the guy out and then get the
Mhm,
rifle. Now, just thinking of this from a video game perspective, because this movie show is based off a video game.
mhm.
All right, so you got Joel up there with the sniper rifle, and you got Ellie, Henry, and Sam trying to make it through the city.
Yeah.
You know, that's a dope ass, level in the game.
Mm.
You playing that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you're uh Ellie, Henry, and Sam, like you're trying to dodge, you're trying to get through all this shit
Yeah.
to try to get through the city. But then if you're playing Joel and you gotta, everybody's fighting, you gotta sit up there and try to snipe people so that your people can get through.
Yeah. It was actually I guess a diversion that was needed but not good because they end up the person that's up to trying to snipe them
Yep.
is on the radio talking to Queen Bitch. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, "Hold them there. We're on our way."
Yeah.
And when they get there, matter of fact, I know this is acting, but Joe's a pretty decent shot. I'll give it to him. You know what I'm saying? He hit the driver in the truck,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's up there clearing the way so that they can get through while they're running.
Yeah.
But they see the truck fall into the ground, and by this time,
no, before we even get to that.
okay,
So the resistance gets in there, and like, Henry, Sam, and Ellie are stuck behind a car.
mhm,
And they're just trying to, like, hey, come out now before we start blowing everybody out. And Henry's just got to make that choice. He goes, hey, like, when you get the opening, just take Sam and run.
yeah,
And he's got to be like, like,
mhm,
got to give himself up.
yeah,
That's whew.
yeah. And I think he actually felt better about it because he knew his brother would be safe or safe enough
Yeah,
with Joel and Ellie. So he was like, okay, I can let this go to save him now. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
And I guess to get my redemption or
yeah.
whatever.
I can atone for this other person's death that I was responsible for, but I
Hmm.
can still make sure my brother is alive and well because he's with some people who can take care of him.
Yeah,
No, but getting to that point where like you're almost free and clear, and then you know
yep.
people catch up. It's just I don't know. I can't imagine what I'd do in that situation. Like especially if I'm trying to get to this freedom,
Hmm.
and it's like, man, like, do you sacrifice yourself?
If it's for a bigger cause, I mean,
So in this instance, like Henry just felt like, hey, Sam's life is worth more than his.
well, yeah, because I mean, put yourself in that position. I remember when I was 30, 32, I made a life changing decision, and you and I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I made it because I felt like at 32 I had lived enough life,
Yeah,
even though I could live a whole lot more. But I had done enough already where if I was to die, you know,
yeah,
I'd be okay with it. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
So I feel like Henry's character was like he's lived enough.
yeah.
Give his little brother a chance to go further. That's why I took it.
Yeah.
Like if I got to sacrifice myself, I've lived 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, at least let him make it to 20. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's how I took it too. It was just like Henry was just like, all right, like my time is up. Like
Hmm.
let me give, you know, Sam a better shot at this than I had.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so he goes to sacrifice himself, and bruh, Queen bitch
Yeah.
talking about, you know, is his life worth anyone else? Like people die every day.
Yeah.
I was like, how are you gonna tell someone, hey, just let your family member die? And but on the same token, it's like you're telling him, hey, people die every day. You should have just let your little brother die. Why are you so salty about your brother dying?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
And then she's done. She's about to take him out, and then that damn truck.
Sinks in.
Mhm.
And everybody turns around like, "Oh snap! What's about to happen?" And she knows because her and the other dude saw that whole moving, and
Yeah,
it was the warehouse or whatever the case may be.
yeah. They saw the
And
fucking. It was like the ground.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it was like, because there was like, "Should we tell the people?" And she was like, "Not yet."
yeah,
So she sees that happen. They know it's about to happen.
yeah.
Sure enough.
So were they under like underground in like caverns or were they in tunnels? Because they weren't in the maintenance tunnels.
Mm-mm.
At least I don't think they would. Looks like they were just like in underground caverns, some shit.
I mean, well, at this point, we know they're underground,
Yeah,
but they're not in the tunnels where they were supposed to be. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And off the previous episode, they kind of like all form together, and the ground kind of communicates with them
mhm,
because the virus or is a fungus.
yeah. It's cordyceps
So
mushrooms. Yeah,
yeah, so in my opinion, it needs dirt to move around to communicate. So it made sense that they were actually in the dirt lot, so to speak, when they were traveling versus in the tunnels. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, man. Fucking all of a sudden, this big old horde of infected people came out and started
Hell yeah.
attacking. I wasn't sure after episode 2 when they were in the abandoned warehouse or whatever or building and the infected people were trying to kill Ellie and Tess.
Okay, yeah. Episode 2. Yep.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah.
Like when they attacked that building, like they didn't run after them. They just kind of they moved in, but like their speed wasn't anything crazy.
Well, in this one, they were fucking super soldiers.
That's what I'm saying. You came in here, they popped out like 300.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? That might be because if Fedra is, I guess, what they painted out to be. What do you say when you torture and rape and do a bunch of stuff to people?
Yeah.
Eventually, when they get a window, they're gonna do it right back to you.
Yeah.
So those zombies had an anger issue versus the other zombies just being zombies.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. It was like I don't know. It was very just it was such a difference in the way these infected zombies acted.
Mhm.
Just it made me look at it go, did they just do that for effect? For like that whole the idea that oh my god, these ones are like it's more what's the word? It's more dangerous.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at how the queen died. You know what I'm saying? Which I thought was dope. Because she got mauled by a little girl zombie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I found it kind of interesting because she was trying to kill Henry over his little brother,
Yeah.
and she ended up dying by another child.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What about that giant
Yeah, I
fucking
don't know what the hell that thing was.
that dude? It was just like a person that was like completely almost completely covered in
Yeah,
mushrooms and shit like that. That motherfucker. If I see something like that climbing up, I'm just
fuck,
like,
fuck that. Run,
yeah, I'm
just
like, nah,
run,
dog.
just run.
Are
We've
you
been
good?
shooting them; they're not dying. Just run, save
Yeah,
yourself. Because
yeah.
he ripped the dude in half, did he rip his head off?
And he ripped his head off.
Okay.
But what do you okay? So in that situation, what do you do like as Joel? Like again, all you can do is really try to take the gun and start sniping people. But
Hmm.
like you're pretty much gotta sit there and watch everyone else like fight it out, and you can only do so much from up there.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's got to. I mean, he's still providing aid, doing what he can do,
Yeah,
but he's not down there in the fight. He's out there trying to make sure they can get away. And was Henry and Sim are hiding under a car? Am I right?
yeah.
Okay, yes. Yeah, so they're under.
Ellie snuck into the back of a car.
Mhm.
Thought she was safe, and then that little girl
Yeah.
was doing gymnastics and flipped in there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man.
I was like, if I saw that shit, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, yeah. Whoever that little girl was acting was dope because
mhm.
she played that zombie role pretty good.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But
And the thing is, okay, so if I'm Joel and I'm watching, like, part of me is actually a little less worried about Ellie than I am Henry and Sam, just because I know if Ellie gets
mm.
bit, like she's at least not gonna turn.
Oh yeah. Oh,
You
well
know?
yeah, because in this one, when the soldiers are rushing in, she's running, turning around, bucking shots. You know what I'm saying? She ain't hitting shit, but she ain't scared to shoot.
Yeah, exactly. And so like, yeah, I'm a little less worried about it, but like, she goes over and tries to save Henry and Sam
Hmm.
and gets them out of there. And we watch everyone else pretty much get taken down while they finally get a chance to escape.
Yeah,
And then this is
yeah.
bro.
They end up getting out. All the soldiers end up getting mauled by the zombies, and they get to a safe spot.
Yeah.
And this is when you find out that Sam got bit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he asked. So I mean, when him using that little toy to write,
Hmm.
first of all, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's a really good like little piece of
What,
production.
what,
They
what,
just
they're not called etch a sketches, but it's like a form of it.
yeah, it's like a
I,
little thing because I remember I used to play with that when I was little.
yeah.
Drawing it and you just pull the plastic up and it erases it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, yeah, he's talking to Ellie and he's like, he says, if you get bit, does the monster stay inside you?
Yeah.
And you know, she's trying her best to like calm him down. Cause I mean, it's probably the closest thing she's got to a sibling,
Yeah.
right?
Because they show that they actually bond in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, she's happy to have somebody to talk to that's on her level, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then, Joel softens up like, okay, there's somebody that's almost like on my level, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like it kind of evens out where they got friends now, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. But like, man, she tells him like she shows him her scar.
Hmm.
She's like, no, like, my blood is medicine.
Yeah.
So
She,
puts
she
a
put
hand.
the blood on him.
Mm-hmm.
And of course he says, "Will you stay awake with me?" And she was like, she said something. I know she said yeah, but
Yeah.
I promise or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was more sentimental the way she said it.
Yeah.
And then the next
Yeah.
moment you could see she fell asleep in the chair.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
So man, this broke my heart
Mm.
happening because I was like, it broke my heart for Ellie more than Henry and said because like to her it was almost. We'll get to this. We'll get to what I think about her. Right.
Nah, I mean, you're probably going the same route, I think, because she was so secure, so confident that her blood is medicine. Like she
Yeah.
cut her hand and put it on him.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna work. This is why they're asking me in the first place. This is why we're trying to get to where we got to go,
Yeah.
because they need my blood. So you're thinking, okay, as a viewer, we finally get to see, you know,
Yeah.
what's going on, but it goes in the opposite direction. Her
Yeah.
blood didn't work. You know what I'm saying?
And fucking Sam tries to maul her,
Hmm.
and then fucking shit, they're fighting. Fucking Henry and Joel pull out their guns. Henry's still, instinctually still trying to protect Sam.
Yeah.
He stops Joel from doing anything, but then he looks over and just fucking
Yeah, I didn't see that
blast,
coming. It's
yeah,
like,
blast Sam.
hmm and I mean, because I guess one thing I've always said is people always ask me questions about, being in Iraq and different situations and everything. And I'm like, look, I've learned to say you can never say what you would do in a situation
Yeah.
because you don't know what you're going to do until you're in that situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is one of those scenarios where he's basically been fighting God knows how long to protect his little brother
Mm-hmm.
and ends up having to kill him.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
He just said, he's like, yo, what have I done? He's like, what have I done?
Yeah,
And then
because the bigger cause was he's infected. So
yeah.
in the back of his mind, he knows that this could be a problem for all of them.
Yeah.
But also in the forefront, that's his little brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah,
He has to look at himself. He goes, oh shit, like he didn't expect it to go that way. And he just puts the gun to himself.
hmm
And like you could see Ellie just looking like, I don't know, it's like kind of the first time where she really, I know it happened with Tess, but like Tess died away from them.
yeah.
This is the first time like death kind of just happened right in front of her.
Well, I mean, well, she shot the other dude, but he didn't die. Joe sent him to the other room when
Yeah.
he was in the shootout.
Yeah. But I'm
Yeah.
saying, yeah, this is the first time where she's like almost face to face with death happening right in front of her. Because I
Yeah.
mean, obviously they're happening to the zombies when she's running, but she's not focusing on it. But you know, it's someone she cared about, someone she was familiar with.
Yeah.
See that, like, you can see it tear her apart because she's like, it's almost like in her mind she's like, what are we fighting for?
Mm.
Why are these people dying to save me when my blood don't fucking work?
Yeah. But nobody knows that but her.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And he shoots himself after he shoots his brother. And of course, Joe goes out there and buries the bodies, which I thought was dope because it showed that Joe does have a heart, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like he didn't just let him die, we gotta go. It was like, nah, let's give him a proper death,
yeah,
a decent burial, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And of course, she goes up to Sam's body and on his little etcher sketcher writes, "I'm sorry," and lays it on him.
yeah,
And Joe's trying to figure out,
yeah.
you
What does she
know,
mean by that?
yeah.
Yeah,
And she's headstrong, like, West is that way, right? Let's go. Like she's taking charge now.
yeah,
And Joe's trying to figure out what the heck did I just miss?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
He knows something. He knows something. He knows something's changing in her.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know what yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, this was a very emotional episode because I mean, we finally got to see some real some real stakes or some real um uh uh what's the word, like, I don't want to say it's another word for like loss, but like some real consequences to everything
Yeah.
going on. Because like I mean, you saw what happened with Bill and all this stuff, but it was almost like a lot of that stuff was self-imposed,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whereas this one, it really felt like these guys are victims of everything going on right
Yeah. Because even the queen, like I said, the queen bitch, she got hers.
now. Mm-hmm.
Henry got his. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
they all reached their ending
yeah,
in a way they probably didn't think it was gonna come.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's hard because like, yeah, you see all these schemers and everyone else who's got a plan to do something, and in the middle of it all you had innocent Sam and Ellie, who just two kids just trying to, like, you know, toss in the middle of it,
Yeah.
having to learn real quick that like this world don't stop for no one,
Yeah.
even if you're a kid.
Yeah. For real.
Hmm.
For real.
Yeah,
Man.
crazy episode.
So yeah, this one, I was like, when it happened, I was like, damn. And I was like, okay. I was like, now it's starting to get good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, now this is the show. This is where it's gonna have your attention.
Yeah.
So like, it's crazy because this episode and the last episode, episode 4, it was all done by the same director. So if you look at it all as like one big movie,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know, it's kind of like that first episode was like the calm before the storm. So episode 4 was a little more subdued. That's why I
Yeah.
think it was like 45 minutes long, a little
Mm.
more calm. And then all the action happened on the back end in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will see what happens on the next episode.
Mhm.
And I'm actually excited to see.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, this is episodes. The show's starting to get real good.
Yeah. Oh man.
What do you think is gonna happen? I didn't look at the coming soon yet, so I don't know.
No, I never do. But I know they still got a ways to go for travel. They're in Kansas City and they're outside. They finally made it outside the city. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say they're safe, but they're safer than where they just were. So now, honestly, I think episode 6 is gonna be more about still traveling and to wherever they end up. Because I don't know shit between Kansas City and Wyoming, but
Yeah.
corn. Just saying.
So I got a question for you. This is completely off topic, but did you know that the girl that plays Ellie is like Scottish?
Mm.
She's got a really good American accent.
Indeed.
Yeah, and that shit blows my mind when I see like English actors and all these foreign actors like just come out and start speaking with a really good American accent, like fucking Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Tom
Tom
Holland.
Holland. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and what's his name? Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
That they can turn that American accent on like really, really well.
Yeah. Like some people are so good at it, you don't even realize, like, you forget that they even have, that they're not from this country.
Yeah.
And this is completely like Chadwick Boseman. Like he's from DC. But
Yeah.
after Black Panther, it was hard for me to see him without that African accent.
He was Wakanda. People thought Wakanda was a real place. We gotta fly here. It's a movie, people.
I saw this video where there was like somebody goes, "Oh, name one place in Africa. And the girl's like, oh, that's easy. Wakanda. You looked at her like, what?
The power of movies, man. The power of cinema.
Yeah.
Has people believing all kinds of stuff.
Well,
Man.
anyways, thank you guys for joining us for episode 5 of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast, Side B.
Yeah.
Join us next week, every Friday, for The Last of Us, and let's see where this TV show takes us.
Indeed. Let's catch up on episode 6.
Yes, sir.
Let us know.
It's your boy Sarat, aka Makazi.
And your boy Chris Brown, aka Red for Delta. Y'all be good out there.